Let me ask you something most men would never say out loud. When was the last time you felt truly satisfied with your sex life? Not just okay, not just going through the motions, but genuinely, deeply satisfied. If that question made you pause, if there was even a flicker of discomfort when you heard it, then this video was made specifically for you. Here is the truth that nobody is talking about. Millions of men over the age of 60 are quietly struggling with their sexual lives. They are not complaining about it. They are not telling their friends. They are not even talking to their partners about it. They are just carrying it silently, day after day, feeling like something important has slipped through their fingers and not quite knowing how to get it back. And what makes it worse? They feel like they are the only one. Well, you are not. And in the next 20 minutes or so, I'm going to show you exactly why this is happening, what is truly behind it, and, most importantly, what you can actually do about it. So stay with me until the very end, because the last section of this video could genuinely change things for you. Before we dive in, let me introduce myself for those who are new here. My name is Dr. Julia Rhodes. I am a men's sex therapist with over a decade of experience, and throughout my career, I have had the privilege of working with hundreds of couples, men especially, helping them understand, reclaim, and rebuild their sexual health and strength. I have sat across from men who felt broken, men who felt ashamed, and men who had given up entirely on ever feeling like themselves again. And I am here to tell you, there is a way forward. There is always a way forward. This channel is dedicated entirely to honest conversations about men's sexual health. Conversations that are grounded in real science, real therapy, and real results. No shame, no judgment, just the truth, and practical steps you can use. Now, if you are watching this and you are not yet subscribed to this channel, I want you to hit that subscribe button right now. Every single week, I release videos packed with expert guidance on men's sexual health, intimacy, relationships, and well-being. This is the kind of content your doctor probably never has time to sit down and explain to you. So hit subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and make sure you never miss a video. It could be the most important thing you do for yourself today. Also, if you find value in this video, please share it with a man over 60 who needs to hear this. You might not know he is struggling, but he probably is, and sharing this could be the nudge that changes everything for him. All right, let us get into it. First, I want to take a moment to talk about why this matters. Because some people might watch a video like this and think, it is just sex. It is not that serious. But here's what the research and my own clinical experience consistently show. Sexual dissatisfaction does not stay in the bedroom. It bleeds into everything. It affects a man's confidence, his mood, his sense of identity, and his connection with his partner. Men who feel sexually unfulfilled often become withdrawn. They pull away emotionally. They start to feel like less of a man, even if they would never say that out loud. Sexual health is not a luxury. It is part of your overall health. And the fact that we do not talk about it openly, especially for men over 60, is a serious problem. This video is for any man over 60 who feels like something is off in his sexual life, whether that means difficulty with performance, loss of desire, disconnection from his partner, or just a quiet sense that things are not what they used to be. You deserve honest answers, and that is exactly what I am going to give you. Let us start with the physical reasons, because for many men, this is where the story begins. Erectile dysfunction, ED. Erectile dysfunction is far more common after 60 than most men realize. Studies suggest that more than half of men over the age of 60 experience some degree of ED, yet the vast majority never seek help. Why? Because of shame. Because of the fear of being seen as less of a man. But here's what I want you to understand. ED is not a character flaw. It is not a failure. It is a medical condition with identifiable causes and very real solutions. Ignoring it does not make it go away. It usually makes it worse, both physically and psychologically. Low testosterone. After the age of 30, men begin to lose testosterone at a rate of roughly 1% per year. By the time a man reaches his 60s, that decline can be significant. Low testosterone, sometimes called andropause or male menopause, can cause reduced libido, difficulty with erections, fatigue, mood changes, and even depression. Many men live with these symptoms for years without ever connecting them to their hormone levels. A simple blood test can tell you where your testosterone levels stand. If they are low, there are medically supervised options to address that, and the difference it can make is remarkable. Prostate issues. Prostate health is another major factor. An enlarged prostate, prostatitis, or in more serious cases, prostate cancer and its treatments can significantly affect sexual function. Surgery, radiation, and hormone therapy for prostate cancer can all impact the ability to achieve and maintain erections, as well as affect ejaculation and sensation. If you have had any prostate treatment and you are struggling sexually, please know this is extremely common, and there are specialists who deal specifically with post-treatment sexual rehabilitation. Chronic illness. Diabetes, heart disease, and blood pressure. Many men over 60 are managing chronic health conditions: diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure. And these conditions directly affect sexual function. Diabetes can damage the nerves and blood vessels necessary for erections. Heart disease reduces blood flow throughout the body. And here is something that surprises many men. The medications used to treat these conditions can themselves cause sexual side effects. Certain blood pressure medications and antidepressants are well known for suppressing libido and interfering with erectile function. If you are on medication and your sex life changed after starting it, talk to your doctor. There are often alternative medications that are easier on sexual function. Now let us talk about something that does not get enough attention: the psychological side of sexual unhappiness in men over 60. Performance anxiety. Performance anxiety is one of the most destructive cycles I see in my practice. It usually begins with one bad experience, perhaps an evening where things did not go as expected. That one experience plants a seed of doubt. The next time intimacy is on the horizon, the man begins to worry. Will it happen again? And that worry, that mental pressure, actually triggers a stress response in the body that makes it more likely things will go wrong. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Over time, some men begin to avoid intimacy altogether, not because they do not want it, but because the anxiety around it has become unbearable. This is deeply painful, and it is something that can absolutely be addressed with the right therapeutic support. Depression and undiagnosed mental health issues. Depression is significantly underdiagnosed in older men. Men of the 60-plus generation were largely raised to push through, to not complain, and to see asking for help as weakness. As a result, many are living with depression that has never been identified or treated. And depression is one of the strongest suppressors of sexual desire there is. If you feel persistently low, unmotivated, emotionally flat, or like you have lost interest in things that used to bring you joy, including sex, please take that seriously. It is not weakness to seek help. It is wisdom. Body image and aging. We talk a lot about body image issues in women, but men experience them too, especially as they age. Weight gain, loss of muscle mass, graying hair, and the general visible signs of aging can make a man feel less attractive and less confident in the bedroom. That self-consciousness creates a mental barrier that makes it very difficult to be fully present during intimacy. Life transitions and loss of identity. Retirement, the loss of a career identity, financial pressures in later life, or even the loss of close friends and family members. These are enormous psychological stressors that many men carry quietly. When a man feels purposeless, anxious about the future, or is grieving, his libido and sexual engagement are almost always the first casualty. The mind and the body are not separate systems. What happens in one always affects the other. Even when everything is physically and psychologically in order, there is a third dimension that often holds men back: the relationship itself. Your partner's changing desire. Menopause significantly reduces many women's sex drive, and it can also cause physical discomfort during intercourse. If your partner is going through or has been through menopause and her desire has decreased, it is natural for that to affect your own experience and your own sense of desirability. Understanding what she is going through and not personalizing her reduced interest as a rejection of you is a critical first step. Years of unresolved resentment. After decades together, many couples are carrying wounds that were never properly healed. Old arguments, betrayals, disappointments, and patterns of neglect do not just disappear, they accumulate. And they create emotional distance that makes genuine physical intimacy very difficult. You cannot truly connect in the bedroom when there is a wall of unaddressed pain between you outside of it. Poor communication about sexual needs. This is extraordinarily common and extraordinarily damaging. Many couples, even those who have been together for 30, 40 years, have never had an honest, open conversation about what they want sexually, what brings them pleasure, what they have been too afraid to ask for, what has stopped working for them. The silence around these things does not protect the relationship. It slowly hollows it out. Monotony and routine. Desire requires novelty. When intimacy follows the exact same script every single time for years, same day, same position, same routine, the brain stops producing the anticipation and excitement that fuels desire. This is not anyone's fault. It is human biology, and it is something that can be changed, even after many years together. Section 7. Lifestyle reasons. We cannot talk about sexual health without talking about the lifestyle choices that directly influence it. And I say this not to lecture anyone, but because these are areas where change can happen quickly, and the results in the bedroom can be significant. Alcohol is one of the most commonly overlooked culprits. Many men in this age group drink regularly, and while a drink or two might lower inhibitions, heavy or chronic alcohol use significantly impairs erectile function and reduces testosterone levels over time. Smoking directly damages the blood vessels necessary for erections. It is one of the clearest and most reversible contributing factors to erectile dysfunction, and quitting, even later in life, can produce noticeable improvements. A sedentary lifestyle reduces cardiovascular fitness, lowers testosterone, and contributes to weight gain, all of which affect sexual performance. The good news is that even moderate, consistent exercise has been shown to improve erectile function, raise testosterone, and significantly boost libido. Poor sleep is another factor that gets ignored far too often. Testosterone is primarily produced during deep sleep. Men who are sleeping poorly, whether due to sleep apnea, stress, or simply disrupted sleep patterns, are likely producing significantly less testosterone than they could be. Addressing sleep quality is one of the most powerful and underutilized tools for improving men's sexual health. All right, now for the part you have been waiting for. Because identifying the problem is only half the battle. The other half, the more important half, is knowing what to actually do about it. So let us go through this together, step by step. Step 1. See a doctor first. Before anything else, I want you to make an appointment with your doctor and have an honest conversation. Ask for a full hormone panel, including testosterone, as well as a cardiovascular check. Ask specifically about whether any current medication you are taking could be affecting your sexual function. This one conversation alone can unlock answers that change everything. Do not be embarrassed. Your doctor has heard it all before. I promise you. Step 2. Start moving consistently. You do not need to become an athlete. You need to move your body consistently. 30 minutes of brisk walking 5 days a week will improve your cardiovascular health, boost testosterone, reduce anxiety, and improve your mood, all of which directly benefit your sexual health. If you can add some resistance training 2 or 3 times a week, even better. Muscle mass is directly linked to testosterone production. Step 3. Have the conversation with your partner. I know this feels like the hardest step, but I want you to hear this clearly. The couples I see who make the most progress are always the ones who stop pretending everything is fine and start talking honestly. You do not need to have a perfect script. You simply need to start. Try something like this. I want us to be closer. I want us to feel connected again. Can we talk about that? That is enough to open the door. If the conversation feels too difficult to have alone, couples therapy or sex therapy with a qualified professional is not a sign that your relationship is broken. It is a sign that you are both willing to fight for it. Step 4. Address the lifestyle factors. Cut back on alcohol. If you smoke, get serious about stopping. There are excellent resources and programs that can help. Prioritize your sleep. Eat in a way that supports cardiovascular health. Plenty of vegetables, lean protein, healthy fats, and less processed food. These changes sound simple, but they are genuinely transformative for sexual health at any age. Step 5. Seek therapy for psychological barriers. If performance anxiety, depression, or body image concerns are at the root of your struggle, please consider speaking with a therapist who specializes in men's sexual health. Cognitive behavioral therapy, in particular, has very strong evidence behind it for performance anxiety. It works, and it works faster than most men expect. Step 6. Redefine what intimacy means. This is one of the most important things I tell the men I work with. So much sexual unhappiness in men over 60 is rooted in a very narrow definition of what sex is supposed to look like, and the belief that if they cannot perform in that specific way, they have failed. But intimacy is far broader than that. Connection, touch, tenderness, sensuality, playfulness. These are all part of a rich sexual life, and they are all available to you regardless of age or physical challenges. Expanding your definition of intimacy can open up a whole new world of possibility. Step 7. Try something new together. If monotony has been the issue, the solution is novelty, and it does not have to be dramatic or uncomfortable. A weekend away, a new environment, a different time of day, an honest conversation about a fantasy. Sometimes the smallest shift in routine can reignite a spark that has been smoldering quietly for years. Be willing to try. Be willing to be a little vulnerable. That openness is deeply attractive to a partner at any age. I want to close with something important. If you watch this entire video and you recognize yourself in several of these sections, I want you to know that is not a reason for shame. That is a reason for hope. Because recognizing the problem is the first and most crucial step toward changing it. You just did something that millions of men refuse to do. You faced it. Sexual struggles after 60 are not a sign that you are old, broken, or past your prime. They are a sign that your body, your mind, and your relationship are asking for attention. And when you give them that attention, when you take the steps we talked about today, the changes can be remarkable. I have seen men in their 60s and 70s completely transform their sexual health and their relationships. I have seen couples who had been disconnected for years find each other again. It is not too late. It is never too late. Now, I would love to hear from you. Down in the comments below, tell me, which of the reasons we covered today resonated most with you? You do not have to share details. Just a number, section 4, section 5, section 6, whatever felt most relevant to your situation. Your comment might also help another man watching this video feel less alone. If this video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It genuinely helps this content reach the men who need it most. And if you have not subscribed yet, now is the time. There is so much more coming on this channel, and every video is designed to give you real, evidence-based guidance on your sexual health and well-being. I am Dr. Julia Rhodes. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourself, all of yourself, and I will see you in the next video.